You're live. All right. All right. Let's get some things. Oops, forgot. Oh, hello, anybody out there? Hey, who's there? Say something. We'll have a look and see. All right, participants, you can't hide from me. Actually, you can. Crap. All right. Hey, Ganna, how you doing? Can you hear me? Yes. Over. All right. Well, the YouTube numbers are kind of weird. It says said there was two, now there's one, but there's two here. All right. Well, as long as it sounds good, we're good. We'll pull this a little bit forward and kind of, I don't know, make it sexy. Anyway, well, good. Welcome to this week's JD Cast, whereby this week we've been working for a little bit on creating kind of do-it-yourself lighting for the house for videos, because they just have a ton of what do you call it? I mean, there's a ton of equipment you can buy now, but you can also make it yourself. And have you been to DIY Perks, the channel? Um, it's like Ghana has gone back into Lagland. All right, that's fine. We'll just keep that in mind as we're talking here. So anyway, he has a project where he created his own lights using LED strips and whatnot. And this inspired me to give it a shot. So let me grab one or two things. We'll be right back. By the time I get back, you should be ready to answer that. So be right there. Yeah, something just like that. I can't find the LEDs at the second, but what he did is he went from a, yeah, that's great. Where the fuck is that? Hang on 1 minute. Yeah, so what he did is he took a computer power supply and used this to hook up to a little motor here. And what this does is if you hook it up correctly, it has your DC in, and on the other side, what it does is it puts pulses out based on this knob here. So if you turn it up, then it gets more pulses, and obviously if you turn it down, it has fewer. So the idea is more light, less light, depending on how you have it set up. So my hope is this evening that we'll just we'll do a little bit of this and see, at least get started and see what happens. Who knows? Anyways, meanwhile, we'll just chat. So something kind of cool, something doing something while we're just chatting here. So, because the point was brought up, if all this ever becomes as a hi, how's everybody doing thing, nobody's going to want to be here. So instead, have something to talk about, you know? Okay. Yeah. So, okay. So what we're going to do here is, I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm going to start off by just removing this connector because we don't need it anyway. Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll... and I was told I can do whatever I want with this. So assuming that the power supply works, we don't know. There we go. Then we're going to at least get part of it started today, and the rest of it as time permits. Okay, so now we have the wires. Hopefully you can see them. You get the idea anyway. Let me see. Rather than look over there, we'll look over here so we can at least acknowledge if people come in or whatever. By the way, if you know if anybody else out there is bored, tell them to pop on over, and we'll probably fail gloriously at this. And who can ask for more, really? Who can ask for more? That's a drill set. That will not help. And yes, your lag is sweet ass. Whoops, that was dumb. Okay. Okay, so ATX power supplies should all be the same. So this should be 12, this should be ground. So what we're gonna do is grab the magical needle nose plier wire cutters of love. Available from Walmart. Walmart, I want my damn endorsement. Okay. So we'll do about a pinky length. Let's say, well, we don't need that much. How much do we actually need to be in here and connected? About that much. So we'll just go ahead and carefully cut it. I mean, if nobody shows up, nobody shows up, right? Can't expect people, and I'm not exactly the cool kid in the crowd, if you know what I mean. So I don't expect very much. All right. DCN. So positive, negative. So positive, negative. So let's go ahead. We always connect negative first. So we'll just lift that up and very carefully. I don't think we even need to solder these. We should be able, since this is a screw-in connector here, we should be able to just put this in and screw this down. So that should be good. All right, then we'll hook up the positive. So let me do this up here so you can see where we have to screw this out, the connector, and then this is the positive. So we're gonna very carefully put this in here. And then we're just going to screw this back down again. That way it's good, tight, and the wire will not come out, theoretically. All right. So now we have this done. Now, kind of want to, I had a length of wire. Hang on 1 minute. I'm going to grab a piece of wire. If somebody shows up and you happen to catch up, say hi to them. I'll be back in a second. Okay. Okay, so went down to the Home Depot the other day to get a bit of wire, and I have to tell you, good Lord, it's nuts out there. It took us a half hour just to get into the store. Not like a half hour and yeah, not like a half hour and we were done. Half hour to get into the store, to spend 2 minutes to get the things we wanted and get out. So I love it. Fear, it's the best way to live. Only way to live. So, and yes, I'm being just a little ironic there. Okay, so what we're gonna do. Oh, it's no big deal. I know you're busy. I know you got things going on. I mean, I appreciate you even just being able to show up. I'm sure you have other things to do. Uh, It's all right. So, yeah, true enough. Uh, so do things look like they're getting any closer to opening over there? So, this is coming along. You probably can't even see it, but it's just really it's a pain to get through this. The outer shield is pretty tough, so Walmart may not be up to the job. We'll have to see. Cool. So you're going to start getting some gigs again? All right, one side. Good to go. Oh, nice. Nice. Cool. By the way, I didn't put last week's stream up because there was too much personal information going around, and I didn't want. I mean, not just me, but Crafty had basically put where she lived and what she did and whatnot, and I'm just keeping everybody protected. So any information you don't want out there, just make sure you don't say anything specific about it. I mean, not that people probably don't know anyway, but it's the thought that matters, the principle. So we're still trying to. Only had a pair of pliers. We're long nose miniature vice grips. Oops, dropped this damn thing. Hang on. Really? What are they trolling you for? Because you're not their girlfriend? Is it that stormtrooper dude? Uh, yeah, I really hate. I mean, online drama is the dumbest of all because it's almost like, okay, so you're getting roped into drama with people you will never actually meet in real life. That sounds like a smart idea. Ugh. Unless this is real life drama that's spilled over, but even so, you know, I think some people just need to get hobbies and sunlight, you know. Uh, they were swatting you? Wow. Sounds like there's some people that need to permanently be out of your life. Wow. All right. Now, for it to go from green to black. Oh. Yep. Yikes. What is wrong with people that they think this kind of thing is okay? Hey, now this is from online people. You're saying this isn't from like real life people, is it? I want to make sure I'm clear on that. Or am I completely reading this wrong? Wow. Well, welcome to the Uncool Kid Club where nobody ever wants to talk to you. So, stay over here. This is the good place. It's a nice place. We don't have sausages or bananas or squids or anything else. All that we have are, right, I guess, random cooking videos. but nobody's been swatted here yet, so I'm pretty happy about that. So, all right. So in order to turn the thing on and off, 2 of the pins here have to be jumpered for a moment, like if it was a switch. I believe it's the green wire and then the black wire. So I've created kind of a, I know it isn't the best thing ever. I have created a little jumper that will allow me to touch both of those without touching it with my fingers, so that way that way we can turn it on. So we should be able to just, when this is right, just get in here and just blip, and then it'll go on. So that's good. Yeah, so that's pretty good right there. Not perfect, but pretty good. Yeah, baby. What was that? That might have been my phone. Yes, it is. That's crafty. Okay. All right. That's crafty. She's on the magic phone. That might even be her right now. Who knows? Hey, how you doing? Yes, we are working on the lighting as we speak. So I'll explain this since you weren't here. Yes. Okay, so yes, this is the light. We're working on this. So let me explain how this works. There's a video out there from a guy, a bunch of videos called DIY Perks. And he made basically a lighting that could be used for anything, but especially YouTube videos. And I said, I don't have his exact setup, but I can take the principle and apply it. So what he does is he has strips of LED strips. Let me see if I can find these again. Hang on 1 minute. I'll be right back. Meanwhile, talk amongst yourselves. It'll be wonderful. You'll love it. Here. Son of a bitch. So here what we have is what used to be a fluorescent light. It still is. We didn't disconnect anything. But what we're going to do is we have LED strips, bright color accurate ones. We're going to run these down, a couple on each side. So we'll use this fixture for that. It's nice and it's long enough that, admittedly, there's no good way to use it horizontally, but if you use it vertically, if you think about it, if I'm shooting a video over here and just off camera, I have this somewhere pointed at me, that can probably light things up pretty well. So it's proof of concept. It may not stay this way permanently, but at least it's an idea. If it works, then we can also do other projects. So proof of concept, does it work or doesn't it work? So we'll set this here. Yep, that is a big light. But the idea is, because I don't have a smaller light, it should light up a larger area, hopefully. So more light, more intense light in a narrower band. Might also encourage me to get that weight back off again, so that way I'm not blobbed out past the light. The other nice thing is it can be used elsewhere. So all we have to do is hook up a particular power supply that'll run it, and then that can be put in the garage for when it's not being used. So, you know what I mean? It has some, not that it's not being used, but it can be put in the garage for use outside of video. So kind of multi-purpose it, because the fluorescent is not very good on it. So what the guy did is he hooked up a computer power supply, a bigger one than this. He hooked it up to an electric motor, and he has an LED strip, and I need to make sure I have his diagram right, because I could have it wrong. But basically you can see up here that you can turn this, see that turning? You can turn this resistor, and the way that I have it, the way he had it set up was that this is actually controls motors, where it uses little pulses. So just like LEDs work in a lot of cases. So what you do is you hook it up, you connect the LEDs to part of the motor, and what it does then is it just pulses, same voltage, but it pulses really fast to give you brighter or dimmer response. So that's what I'm going to try to do, is to see if that works or not. So what I did earlier was I cut the end off one of the connectors, because we didn't need that. And I hooked the 12 volts up, the positive and the negative here. Then on the other side, we've got the motor. I think it's the motor negative that runs it. I'm going to have to check his diagram again because he's not an electronics or an electrician, and his diagram sucks. So we'll have to figure that out again. So once that's done, then we can kind of work. As long as it lights the strips, then it actually gets a little easier, because then we know, well, we light up this side, and we use one side of the connector for this and the other side of the connector for that, or whatever. So that should be good. Additionally, when it comes to power supplies, 2 of the pins on a standard ATX connector are used to actually power the DAM to turn the computer on. Usually what happens is there's an actual switch on the computer case, and those run through some wires down to that point. So when you tap it, the computer turns on. So I kind of rigged together a little jumper here that'll allow me to just touch the 2 wires at once and turn it on. So we're getting there. Now, now we do have a few other steps that we'll have to go through in order to really get this. Whoops. Oh, damn it, I'm useless. Okay, we'll really have to get this going. Like, I've got a soldering iron here, and I will have to solder the I'll have to solder the ends of the cables onto the LEDs. So that's going to be a fairly permanent connection. So I need to make sure I've got the thing cleaned and everything laid out where I want it first, and then connect all the wires together the way that they're supposed to be. Solder it, get everything connected, and try turning it on. So we have made at least a few significant steps this evening. If I could just figure out where the hell we put the LEDs, that would be really helpful. But I can't. So, questions from the audience? While we're waiting for everybody to not lag or come up what they want to say. Yeah, it shouldn't, but we'll see. These are supposed to be able to handle the amperage that's going into them, so that shouldn't be a problem. I'm just not sure if we may have to connect the load first. Oh, that was fun. How did you do that? Even on the old ones, there's only, these are keyed. Some of them are round and some of them are square. Setting up a new motherboard. Boom. Wow. Did you just try to just get in there? Wow. Ah, gotcha. Oh, I know what I'm doing. However, looks like in this case, things didn't go entirely as anticipated, did they? Oh, it didn't get damaged? Okay. Well, that's good. Well, that's not too bad then. Here. That's what I'm saying. Where'd the LEDs go? Uh, I want to be really careful because those were like $35 for the strip. So you don't just want to mess around with those. Okay. Okay, so just for reference, I put a knob on here. So I can at least see roughly which direction it's pointed in. So, oops. And there's off, off, and full. Boom. Yeah, I'm not sure with the time that's left we're going to necessarily hook it up, but we can probably have to do it next week. Because the thing is, I don't know if I want to if I have enough time to really solder these things properly, even if I could find them. I don't know. I mean, we could always just try powering it up and seeing if, as long as smoke doesn't come out of it, we should be okay, right? I mean, putting a circuit in without a load on it, that's a really smart idea. Let me check one more time. I may find it up there, and then we'll see what happens. Oh, there's the LEDs. So, oh boy. Oh yeah. Let me see. You go right ahead. Go ahead and share it. If I knew how to do it myself, I would do it. What do these buttons on the side do? I don't know. You do that. Okay. Speaking of pictures, I saw the picture of that you put up today. Looks good. Bet he's looking forward to graduating and getting out on his own. Probably. Who knows? Right, I'm going to take a minute here. While we're doing that, as long as everybody can see me, I need to find... do it yourself. Perks.
Recent.
Okay. Then.
Layer of inch
dropping that. Okay, so the circuit diagram. Okay. Yeah. Never did get the unicorn head though. Can't lie. It would have been beautiful, but didn't quite work out. Uh-oh. Let's see. All right. Let's take a second. Okay. I know this isn't very exciting if you're watching this. And there it is. Ganna has the... Yeah. You got to be funny about it. You know, people... Halloween is turning into a really stupid holiday. Not that it ever wasn't, but, you know, it's like, guys, it's like, let's get the worst possible thing. And then girls, it's like, well, let's do the same thing as the guys, but let's do sexy thing, you know? So, you know, oh, look, it's sexy nurse. Oh, boy, it's sexy Tinkerbell. It, you know, whatever it might be. It's like, I think you guys are lacking some imagination here. Let's do something different. Do it different. Okay. This diagram doesn't, it can't be right. So, but let's look at it anyway. So he has connect to the plus side, the strips. So it should be plus into here, to the negative there. And the motor negative. Okay. All right. Well, we all have our little faults, you know. Eat too much on Halloween. Well, that's That's cool. Careful with that overeating stuff. If you don't, you end up looking like this. You know, take care of that now so you don't have to deal with it later. Like I have to. Okay. All right. So what I had initially said I was going to do is I had measured this out for the inside of the light there. So what I was going to do is unravel this, and at the very end there's a 6-inch strip of lights there that I may just have to watch the video again to make sure. I really don't feel good about setting it up because this diagram is kind of a bunch of BS. Okay, the power sockets are soldered to them directly at the other side. The dimmers get their power from this directly. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to do this a little differently. So what I'm going to have to do is unravel this all the way, attach Okay, so this seems entirely wrong, but the way he's describing it is that you have 12 volts coming in from one side, and then you have 12 volts in on the other side. So on one side of the strip, the other side of the strip, 12 volts. Then you hook the ground, which we have here, the ground into the negative. Then you have the 12 volts. So you have 12 volts here, 12 volts here. You have 12 volts on the other side. And then you hook, so each side of the LED the positive gets 12 volts. And then one side of this, which again doesn't make a metric ton of sense, gets hooked up to one of these on the other side. And the reason for that is that's just how the motor works. So, I mean, I get where he's coming from. I just, if anything is different about this one, the whole thing goes boom, and that's 30 some odd dollars down the drain. Not a good look. Let's see. Okay. So maybe you can see I've got little marks here to tell me where to cut this. Yeah, there isn't a lot of time. I make sure the front light is not on and stay at home. Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do with Halloween. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I used to go over to my grandma and grandpa's house and help out. They had a big German Shepherd, and that dog didn't like anybody except for them, me, and a few other sorted people. It didn't even like me that much at first until I established dominance properly. Then it never messed with me again. Yeah, so I have like this much of the strip is I can theoretically cut off, and then you can see there's these little lines right here. You can cut them in between there, and then to connect wires up, you have to solder them to the copper pad. A little tricky, not impossible, just not the most fun thing ever, but it can be done. So yeah, since there's only a few minutes left, maybe we'll see about that for next time. Either that or I'll do it and record it and leave it, and then everybody can laugh at me live next week. And of the two options, I bet I know which one it's going to be. Can't wait till that one finds its way out into the known universe. That'll be fun. Why does it feel like I've done something wrong? Probably because I have. Well, that's what I was thinking. The problem is if it doesn't have enough wattage, then if it doesn't carry enough of a load, it might blow the, it might not work. I don't know. I'll have to do a little more investigation. Anyway, we got about 3 minutes left, so we're not going to worry about that. But I will definitely let y'all know how it turns out. And like I said, maybe next week we'll just turn it on and see how it goes. So we'll take this and put this on here. Yeah. All right. Well, gonna give it about 2 minutes, then we're gonna call it. I think about a minute actually. Now that I think about it. So it's been good having you all here. Obviously, not the most exciting thing, but we've done a few things tonight. Messed around with circuits that are going to turn into something useful, and if they are, then we'll get everybody some of the information on how to do this for themselves, so maybe they can have some better lighting. Remember, your camera needs more light than you think it does, even if it's on your cell phone. Needs a lot of light. I didn't put last week's video up because there was a lot of stuff identifying where people were and what they were doing and stuff, and I didn't want to do that. But I think this one doesn't have a lot of that, so I think we'll post this one so people can see it. Also, be on the lookout. I am presently editing a video. I'd hoped it was going to get done, but I've had some, well, maybe we can real quick. Maybe we'll go just a second over. Gotta have a lav mic set up now from Deity microphones, and it's actually pretty good. We're having a few technical issues which we'll have to work through, but we just kept having problems with audio, and I kept recording with it and it wasn't quite doing what I wanted it to do, and the phone was having problems. So I think we got audio that was good enough today. Maybe not perfect, but good enough. So yeah. So we'll talk about it a little more. And yes, lighting is key. I mean, right now, this looks good to my eye, but to that camera, you can see all the digital noise everywhere. It wants more light, and it will get it. Well, this is for a video that I shot earlier, not for the live stream now. Anyways, it's good talking to both of you. And we'll do this next week, same time, 7 p.m. Pacific. If you have friends and they're bored and they want to be able to chat with people, then we will do that. And I'm now going to stop looking at that and address the camera. So thanks everybody for showing up. If you haven't yet, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I subscribed both of these channels. If you're out there watching it, you should do the same thing right now. I mean, even while you're watching the video, kind of scroll up, hit that button right now. Like, go to their channels, watch their videos, give them likes. They'll like you for it. You know, it's kind of like the like chain. Everybody like everybody. So that's it. Next week we'll pick up with this, maybe talk a little bit about the microphone. Hopefully we'll talk a little bit about the video, any videos we put up. So on that note, everybody have a good one, and night, sleep well, and see you in a week. Bye. Okay. Oh, that was dumb. I feel dumb for doing that. Okay.